done? What shifted? What changed? What grew? What expanded? I guarantee there's literally thousands and thousands of untapped stories in this room. Because maybe you've been telling yourself you don't have a powerful story, or you can't be like this person or that person, or you open the leadership magazine and you think, well, it worked for them. But what about your story? I've only been here 3.5 years and I already have hundreds of Melaleuca stories, and I practice them all the time. Before Melaleuca, I was $15,000 in credit card debt because of a failed MLM, and my husband didn't know. And I was embarrassed, and I felt like a failure, and I was exhausted, but I had grit and I had determination, and I needed a vehicle. And after Melaleuca, we were able to pay off that debt in a short time, and we've gone on to build a life of freedom and abundance, not just for ourselves, but for our community. That's just one story, you guys. How many people are going to hear that from you? That's a business story. I have product stories. Before Melaleuca, I used to go into Target and spend $300 on throw pillows and things I didn't need because I went to buy toothpaste. How many of you done that? Everybody, right? After Melaleuca, I save a lot of money. I save gas money and time, and I get my products from American-made store. How many people are hearing your story or the story of somebody else in this room or in our community? Stories build community. So I'll explain this picture in a second. But first I want to apologize to my husband because he didn't know that his face was going to be up here all over the screen. Thank you, honey, for being so supportive. I love you. So how do you take a name from a contact list and set an appointment? That's the magic question, right? How do you turn that name into a relationship, into an appointment, into an overview? And really, it's the art of the ask. So this picture was taken, we were on a trip with some friends, and we were snowed in a blizzard in California. I know that sounds weird, but it does happen once in a lifetime, and we experienced it. There was a blizzard in California, and we were snowed in for a couple days. And so I was sitting on the couch with my husband in my sweatpants, and I was working, and I'm literally enrolling my newest director in this moment. I'm asking her for the appointment. I'm building a relationship with her. And it's a little snapshot of my life, but I wanted to show it because it doesn't always have to be fancy and well put together. The beauty of being a marketing executive here is our business is so flexible. I'm not dressed up every day when I work my business, but you guys, I have posture. I have posture when I'm asking someone to take a look because I know what's here. And I know the value of the gift we've been given. So in this moment, I look really kind of mad, right? I look really serious. And my girlfriend snapped a picture and she texted it to me. She goes, "What are you doing? You look so serious." I go, "Oh, I'm working." Sometimes when I'm working, I look really serious. And then I put this up on social media and I said the same thing. I go, sometimes when I'm working, I might look mad, but it's because I'm so focused and intentional about how we're helping people have the life we have today. And guess what happened from that one little picture, one little post, one little snapshot in my life, that little story? Appointment, 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 appointment. What do you do? What do you do? What are you doing? I want that. I want to know more, right? Creates conversation. But it's the posture that we have in those moments. So it doesn't have to be perfectly put together. You just have to do it. So it's the posture and the energy that you have. And I call it the art of asking. So often I find people, they have conversations, they tell stories, and then they don't ask for the appointment. So here's what I do. I share a story, I connect with someone, and then I say, "Hey, listen, I'd love to show you a little bit more about what we do. I think you'd really find value in it. When do you have a quick 20 or 30 minutes for us to connect this week so I can show you the back end of what we do here?" Now that might be more of a business approach. There's a million approaches in this room, and so many teams have amazing tools and resources for you guys. But it's asking, being bold enough to ask. Bold in sharing your story and bold in asking for the appointment. And you guys, when you do that, your contact list will grow. Your appointments will grow. You can test the health of your business by pulling out your calendar and seeing how many appointments you currently have on your calendar. How many of you want to have a full calendar for your business that's thriving and you know what you're doing every day in your business? Okay? You are the only person that can create that. You have to make the time and you have to set the appointment by asking the question. So the next word on here is practice. How many times have you practiced your Melaleuca story? Maybe you're really introverted and you're shy and you're thinking, oh my goodness, I could never talk to 50 people on a contact list or enroll 25 people. I don't even know that many people. But what if you started to practice and get good at your craft of being a marketing executive for a multi-billion-dollar debt-free American built and run company? You guys, can you get excited about that? My goodness, we have cowboys now. That is so cool. Okay, what they do is hard, by the way. I don't know, you'll never lose a finger as a marketing executive unless you're texting too much. I mean, that's like really serious, okay? We have it so good. And honestly, I tell my team, and I'm just gonna be honest with you guys right now, I tell my team this: if you can't be an entrepreneur in Melaleuca, maybe entrepreneurship isn't for you. Because we have it so good here, and sometimes I think we forget that. And we stop practicing, and we stop adding names to our contact list, and we stop sharing our stories of what inspired us to start. So practice, stand in front of the mirror, record yourself. I don't care what you do, but practice your story, and the more you do that, you are gonna grow your confidence, you're gonna grow your leadership. Other people are gonna see what you're doing, and they're gonna say, oh, I wanna be a part of that. How many of you would have signed up with Ashley? She was up here. Like, I would have joined Ashley. Awesome, she's amazing, right? Like, I need to get stains out of white baseball pants too. I'm a baseball mom, I get it, right? She connected me into her community. She has posture, energy, because she practices. And the last thing is visibility. This silly little picture, this moment in my life was a story that I then shared with the public. And I was able to create more conversations, more appointments, more overviews, potential business partners, and grow my business because of visibility. So here's the question I want you to ask yourself, is how visible are you right now in your business? If you build in-homes and belly-to-belly, how many are on your calendar? How many appointments do you have in person? Are you being visible in your community? If you're building online, what's your visibility? Here's what we can't do as marketing executives. We can't sit in our houses, talk to no people, not want to go on social media, not want to go out in person, don't want to join any networking events, and expect our business to grow. We can't do that. It's never going to work. So visibility is huge, and you have to ask yourself, how visible am I in my business? Do people in my circle of influence know what I do, know what I stand for, know how I help people, know what I'm about? And if the answer is no, then that's what I want you to work on. Over the next couple days, you guys, you're gonna leave here and your mind is gonna be so full. And there's so many different ways to do this business. So I just wanna leave you with this. Grow your confidence in your story. And when you practice it, write it down over the next couple days in your booklet. Before Melaleuca, ... After Melaleuca, ... Because you guys' lives truly change here, and I believe in all of you, and I can't wait to see all of you have massive success. Thank you for having me today. God bless, and we'll see you guys soon.
What a fantastic training by National Director Brittany McLaughlin. Now, I'm sure many of you have received valuable insights on how to maximize the full potential of doing the first two critical business building activities, which will definitely help you to expand your Melaleuca business and change your life. And we are nearing to the end of our session for the day. But before we end, I'd like to invite our Senior Coaching and Leader Development Manager, Jeffrey Law, to share some word of wisdom with us. Over to you, Jeffrey.
Right, thank you so much, Leslie. Hi, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. And I also want to take this opportunity to wish everyone Gong Xi Fa Chai, and wish you all have a healthy and a prosperous year, okay, of the dragon. Now, I believe for the past, 1 week or more than 1 week, all of you have got into a lot of Chinese New Year gathering. You visit friends and families, and then sometimes you got into friends of friends gathering as well. Now that is a great opportunity for you to get to know more people and to add your contact list. And I believe those of you here tonight, you have added quite a number of contact lists and get to know more people. And most importantly, you touch them, basically, not the physical touch, basically, you get to know them personally better. All right. So at here, I wish to take the opportunity to emphasize now as things get back to the normal days. All right. So it is important for us to continue doing what's matter most for your Melaleuca business, which is enroll customers and develop directors. And that will not happen if you did not grow your contact list or set appointments. All right. Now, I understand most of you here build the business part-time, right? You might be running your own business, or you might be you have your own full-time job, and then you are allocating your time to build a Melaleuca business because you see the potential Melaleuca has to offer. But then it is important for you to make every minute count whenever you are allocating your time to do your critical activities. Now, as mentioned, it is all right to build the business part-time, but then we need to take it seriously by not making it when you have time. Because part-time and when you have time, that's two different stories, and you have two different results. Because even if you build it part-time, you are serious about it. You allocate time to doing what matters most, which is your critical activities. But then if you treat it as when you have time, it is no longer your priority. You do it whenever you feel like it. So that is not a serious business. Now, tonight, since you are here, I'm quite sure you are serious about your Melaleuca business. All right. So the first important steps is to calendaring your schedule. All right. I'm not going to go into the full details about, because each of them carries total different explanations. I'll give you a summary of why it is so important. Of course, the number one is adding new names. All right. So Melaleuca, as mentioned by Brittany earlier, Melaleuca is a vehicle to help you reach your goals. Now, your contact list is something like a fuel to your vehicle to move you towards your goal. Now, as you progress, your fuel runs out. All right. And if you do not refuel along the way, you will not be able to reach your destinations. You're not able to reach your goals. So that is why it is important to continue adding names to your contact list. All right. Then contact list, of course, that is your lifeblood of your Melaleuca business. So have the habit to add at least one name to your contact list, not more. I mean, it's not overwhelming. It's just one a day. All right. It adds up. 1 year, there's 365 contact lists. All right. Now, that is consistency. And then you can always start from your area of interest. Because some of you might be thinking, where can I get to know people? Where can I build my contact list? Right. So you might find it difficult. So the best way is to start from your area of interest, your hobby, what you like to do every day. All right. Even if you go to the wet market, that's where you meet people. Or even if you like to go to certain restaurant to eat, that's where you meet new people. All right. Most important, we take the proactive actions to say hello with a smile, then straight out of conversations. All right. And then write down your physical contact book. I've spoken with a lot of marketing executives. Most of them keep their contact list in their phone contact book. It's one of the way, but then it might not be so effective for you to really track your contact list, who you have reached out to last week, last month. Any information you have about that person is not written there. It's not compiled. So it's better you have a physical contact book with you. And then a contact list is still a name and contact number. You need to build relationship, get to know them better. All right. Most important, it has to be sincere, genuine. All right. Don't start with how can I enroll them. All right. So if you have that mentality, you have questions around coming up, raising like, how can I approach them? How can I make sure they will enroll? How can I make sure they won't reject me? But then if you start with how can Melaleuca's products or Melaleuca's income help them? So if you start with a helping someone's mentality, you won't feel stressed out. All right. When you want to help somebody, somebody else won't be scolding you, or getting mad at you because you want to help them. All right. The most is they say, no, it's okay, I don't need your help. Right. So don't be afraid about that. Okay. So it start with it's all about them. All right. And then we encourage you to have at least 4 connections a day. 4 connections. All right. Because not every connection will end up with an appointment. But then certain connection is about an opportunity to get to know a certain person better. All right. Some contact lists, it might take you 2 weeks to get to know them. Some two months, some 2 years. All right. But then that is still contact list. All right. When you consistently doing that, you get to know them much more. And when the timing is right, that is when you set appointments. Now, most important, just now I mentioned adding 1 names a day, 4 calls a day for effective connection. You have to do that consistently. All right. Don't burn yourself out. Like, no, one day I add 10 names, add 20 names, I make 20 calls, and then you rest for the whole week. So you feel a burnout. You feel very tired. You feel overwhelmed for the efforts you put in one day. Just do a consistent activities without feeling burnt out. All right. And then you create a self-accountability notebook. You track your progress. So let's say your goal is to, excuse me, add 1 names and make 4 connection a day. So have a note or in your planner. All right. Basically, if you did that, you tick off. Every end of the week or every end of the month, you add up. You see the amount of new names you added per month and the number of connections you did for the whole month. You'll be surprised with the outcome without feeling burnt out. All right. So, and then that is when if you really evaluate your progress in your Melaleuca business. The efforts you put in is for your own growth of your Melaleuca business and ultimately growing your monthly repeat income and to help you reach your goals. All right. And then we switch focus to the appointment setting. All right. It's not every call must end up with an appointment. Some call is just relationship building. I would say most of it will be relationship building. All right. On average, through the power hour session we did over the years, every 3 effective calls will help you end up with 1 appointment. That is the average. All right. So meaning the more calls you make, the higher chances for you to set an appointment to really meet that person, to share Melaleuca with them. All right. So don't pounce. Right. It doesn't mean you're adding 1 name. You must set appointment and want to enroll them on the spot. All right. Of course, it did happen, but then it takes time for certain people. Okay. And then always carry your calendar with you, whether it's currently, most people using their smartphone or a pad or tablet, or physical calendar with you is important because whenever you call someone and if they are ready to meet you, you should have known that through your calendar, which date and which time you are available to meet them. And always offers 2 options with the date and time. Let's say, how about Thursday? Right now is Wednesday night, no? So let's say I'm calling Captain. So I will be saying, Captain, how about Friday 2:30 or Saturday morning 10 o'clock? Which better for you for us to meet up? So always give 2 options and don't use the example of when are you free? All right. So if when are you free, meaning it is not so important, and you open up such a huge gap for them to really find ways to reject you. So always give 2 date and time so that you will secure the appointment. All right. And always a day or 2 days before the appointments, follow up to remind them about your appointments. All right. So they will help you make sure that it materializes. Okay. So the last matters I wish to really share with you tonight will be really to take control of your action. Okay. Right. I understand not every one of you have your schedule for your Melaleuca business, but then I encourage you to start today and then start taking control of your Melaleuca's critical activities. Right. So most importantly, identify your daily work hours. Right. Yes, you might be working from 9 to 7, right? But then there will always be a gap each day, right? So if you're able to squeeze in 1 hour a day, that's 7 hours a week, right? There'll be even much more in a month time. And then decide what you want to achieve during your work hour. So let's say if you say, my first hour in the morning is the time I make calls to really get to know people. My next hour is after work is the time that I do follow up with my customers or with my new enrollments. So decide what you want to achieve during your work hour. And then commit to set a minimum of 2 appointments per week. 2 appointments per week. Why? Because on average, 2 or 3 appointments will end up with 1 successful Melaleuca enrollment. All right. So if you're doing that, you're basically having 1 new enrollment, 1 new customer, 1 each week. And with that, you will have an average of 4 customers each week. And that is a great number to help you achieve a lot of Melaleuca's sales incentive. And as well, it's one of the critical activity bonus criteria for you. All right. So with that, I wish you have a great month of February. And we'll see you on the 2nd of March during convention, which is on next Saturday. Thank you so much.